Hi guys, 18 Dapper here and welcome to the latest matchday preview for the channel. It is midweek action in League 2, it's our game in hand, it's Colchester versus Doncaster Rovers. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to the latest matchday preview. It's Colchester versus Doncaster Rovers. I apologise, my voice is absolutely shot from the absolute chaos that ensued on Saturday in an incredible game which we'll get into, so please bear with me if I go croaky a little bit. Like I say, the voice is absolutely shot, but on that video from Saturday, the outpouring of emotion and the response that I've got from that video has been absolutely incredible from every single one of you. So if you do enjoy this sort of content and you want to see more, please consider clicking subscribe. But if you're one of the existing 3,400 and odd subscribers at the minute, I appreciate every single one of you, so thank you for supporting the channel throughout the season. If you are new to the channel though, this is the format that we go through match previews, still on a high from Saturday as well. We look at previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions, which is decent for Donny. Player profile, I'll choose Doncaster Rovers player to say a few words about, and then I pick the opponent's one to watch. But as I always say, you know your club much better than I do, so if there's somebody else that needs to be in that conversation, get them in the comments down below. And then we finish the video with three predictions: the predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub, the predictions league table, which is getting very tight coming to the last two games of the season, and then the all important score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. Colchester and Donny have faced off a total of 51 times in our history. Rovers coming out on top on 24 of those occasions, Colchester winning 19, and we've shared the spoils only 8 times. So I think this one could go one way or the other, and both teams fighting for points for their own reasons. Looking at the more recent 5, we go back to the 16-17 season in League 2, where Rovers won 1-0 away from home. Certainly take that tomorrow night. And then it was 1-1 draw at home. And then last season in League 2 it was a 3-0 defeat away from home. We certainly don't want that, but Colchester would bite our hands off for that. But we won the return fixture 1-0, and then earlier this season at the Eco Power Stadium it was a 3-1 win for the Rovers. So a bit of hit and miss over the last 5. Rovers just edging it with the 3 wins, but it's a tough team to play, especially in the position that they're in and the desperate need of points that they find themselves in as well. Current form, it is great for Donny. I've had to add another column onto this graphic. If you've been following the channel for a while, normally I just have the last 5, but Doncaster have won 9 on the bounce, so 9 wins for Donny. So we'll look at Colchester's last 9. Bit inconsistent, but not bad for the position that they're in the table. 2 draws, a win, a draw, 2 defeats on the bounce, and 2 wins on the bounce, and then a defeat on Saturday to Notts County. So a little inconsistent. Hopefully that inconsistency continues tomorrow night and we inflict another defeat onto Colchester. Donny though, we continue to defy with an incredible comeback win on Saturday. We ran out 4-2 winners after being 2-0 down at half time, and for me, Barrow looked to have done the homework on us, and they were executing a game plan to absolute perfection, and we just weren't competing in the first half. We were limited to little to no chances. We looked steady on the ball, assured on the ball. There were plenty of possession, but we just couldn't break a very well organised, well drilled Barrow team down. And they hit us twice. Once on the counter attack, the left winger looked offside when it was played through. I'm not sure. I don't really care now, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he was on or off. Even on the replay, I think he looks off, but you can't see all the way across the back line, so can't be 100% sure on that. But taking nothing away from the cross, one full cross in, and Emil Aqua, great header, just kind of found a bit of space at the back post and diverted the ball back to where Lo Tatala had come from. Fantastic header, found ourselves 1-0 down, and I thought, let's take this into half time. Grant will get into him, and then 1 goal to turn around in the second half. But then they got a corner just before half time, whipped in, free header, very disappointing defending, and at that point it was like that dream of playoffs was gone. But then the Doncaster team that came out in the second half, different gravy, absolute different gravy, and it was incredible to be there, witness it, feel the emotion, see the fans going absolutely mental. They're like all boys around us crying and cuddling people they didn't even know. It's just, that's what football's all about, isn't it? But yeah, for me, inspired changes from Grant McCann saw us turn the game on its head. We were hungry, energetic, brave, committed, just everything you want in a team when you're supporting any club. You just want that drive, fire, desire to win games. And if you get beat by the better team or the better tactics, then you take it on the chin. But yeah, just incredible, absolute fantastic. And if you've not seen the vlog for that, I hope I've captured emotion. Like I say, the response from that video has been incredible. I'll link it in the top corner of the screen or at the end of the video as well. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. The one disappointing thing for me on Saturday was the unsavoury scenes, the fans going onto the pitch, which I just don't quite understand. I certainly don't condone it. For me, I know there was a lot riding on the game in terms of getting closer to the playoffs, and it's still in our hands, but ultimately when you boil it down, what we've done is we've come back from 2-0 and won a game of football. We've not won a trophy, we've not achieved a playoff position, there's still work to do. So I just don't quite understand the mentality of getting onto the pitch. I know emotion was high, but yeah, I just don't understand it. For me now, the club will come down on those individuals hard. They'll end up with a ban, they'll miss the playoffs, and for me it's just not worth the risk of missing out on the club that I love in those moments. For me, stay in the stands, celebrate, let the players celebrate as well. And yeah, I just don't get it. And I've seen videos about the Barrow keeper. I don't think he's been assaulted. He's thrown a kid down to the floor. The kid should be on the pitch, but I certainly don't think he's done anything to the Barrow keeper. But ultimately, for me, no fan should be on the pitch. Well, that's my 2 pennies worth. On to Colchester. They've had a tough season. They've been battling at the wrong end of the table and have all but secured their place in League Two for next year. They currently sit 3 points above Sutton. A point is enough tomorrow to confirm safety. I don't think they'll be going for the point though. I think they'll be going for all 3. A defeat isn't the end of the world as well though for Colchester. They've got a 7-goal cushion over Sutton as well. So we've seen 7-goal swings happen before in League Two, but I think Colchester will be safe this season. I do think they've got enough to see it through. The Cowleys have certainly steadied the ship, and that's why I think they've got enough to get the job done. But yeah, they'll be certainly pushing for a point, if not all 3, tomorrow night. So it's not going to be an easy game for Donny. On to player profile. So for this one, I've gone with Kyle Hurst for the Rovers, left winger, 22 years old, and I've gone with Hursty because I've been quite critical of him this season, and I've only been critical because of the ability and what he showed last season in a poor team. He was superb, but for me, he's just not replicated enough of that this campaign. He's had chances off of the bench, and I just don't think he's grasped them enough. But for me, his performance yesterday off the bench was incredible. It was back to the Hursty that we saw and fell in love with last season. So hopefully, he's only 22. There's a lot of football in him yet, and I'm sure Grant will be able to get the best out of him next season. Hursty is an exciting player. He's got ability. He's got potential. I just think he needs to own that in. Be a bit more of a team player sometimes. He tends to turn back, cut back, and try and take a player on maybe 3 or 4 times, where he could whip it in and then hopefully get somebody on the end of it. So yeah, there's elements of his game that he can work on, in my opinion. But the potential and the ability is clearly there. We've seen it, and hopefully we'll see it again in spades next season. Onto the one to watch for Colchester. So as I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than I do. So if you don't think this individual is the one to watch, get them in the comments down below so us Donny fans know who to watch out for in tomorrow night's fixture. I have gone with Cameron McGeehan, 29 years old, central midfielder, and I've only gone with Cameron because he's contributed the most goals this season for Colchester. I think he's scored 10, assisted 4 across all competitions, and it's his 2nd best season of his career. I think he got 20 goal contributions a couple of seasons back. But yeah, decent central midfielder, can find a pass, and also got a goal in him as well. 341 appearances across his career, 67 goals, 19 assists. So I think if we nullify him and prevent him from finding those passes, I think we've got a good chance of coming away or coming back home with 3 points or at least 1. onto the predicted team lineup. So I have gone unchanged from my last video, but this is all thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Loads of features to get stuck into, and you get rewarded for following your club. But I've gone with Low to Tyler in goal, a back four of Sterry, Olowu, Wood, Maxwell, although Anderson was phenomenal when he came on Saturday. Midfield three of Bailey, Craig and Biggins. Thought Biggins turned the game on its head. Westbrook struggled a little bit in the first half, but I think that was because Barrow was so good in the first half. But yeah, I think Biggins has earned his place for tomorrow night's fixture. And then the front three of Adelaide, Molyneux and Ironside. Onto the predictions league table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game. 3 points if you get it spot on, 1 point if you get the result right but not the scoreline, no points if you get it completely wrong. I went with a 2-1 defeat against Barrow. My dad went with the good old Desmond 2-2. Chris and Max went with wins but didn't get the correct score, so come a little bit closer to me in first on 32 points, Chris in second on 29, Max in third on 26, Dad still bottom on 12 points. And that takes me to the all-important score prediction. And if you have been following the channel for quite a while, since this run has started, I've been saying the run will stop. It will end at some point. Every positive run will end at some point, just like every negative run of defeats, it'll end at some point. Colchester fighting for the points. They want to secure safety. We want to try and get into the playoffs, so it could go either way. But I'm going to say that our run ends on Tuesday. I'm sticking with my score prediction of 2-1 defeat. I just can't change it because I don't want to jinx it. But I do believe the run will end at some point. I hope it doesn't. I'm going with 2-1 to Colchester. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. If you've enjoyed it, stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.